Hi folks, thanks for joining me for this week's river tutorial. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button. What you see in the vise then is a fairly simple wet fly, and without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise then is a Hanak H260 barbless hook. This one's at size 12. It's on a heavy wire and it's in black nickel. Now I think the heavy wires are important for wets. It just gets them below the surface that little bit. The thread I'm going to be using today is from Sempperfli, and it's the Nano silk in 12/0. As you can see, it's black. Now as always with the Nano silks, I'm just going to get a tiny touch of super glue onto the shank of the hook. And then bring my thread to about the point on this hook, or if you're using a barbed hook, just to the point of the hook. Don't come all the way back. Just remove my waste, and what I'm using for my tag of this, if you like, is some of the magic tinsel. This is the 132, the thinner size, and it's the olive colour. Now there's two sides to magic tinsel, and I'm just checking to see that I get the good side. So I'm going to lay that on and just catch that in. I can use the tinsel actually to help bring my thread wraps further back. So I'm bringing my thread back to where a barb would be, and then once I've done that, I can then work my thread all the way back up. Now wets is something I'm not particularly good at fishing because I don't do it very much, but it is something I quite enjoy. I think you lose a lot more fish than you actually catch when you're fishing wets. So I'm just bringing my magic tinsel up now, and against the black it looks quite nice, and I'm going for overlapping turns here so that I make sure I get the coverage of that black thread. If you haven't got magic tinsel, you can use Pearl Lurex, Mirage. There's all different manner of things. It's just to give you that shiny body. There's nothing to this fly actually. Very easy to tie, and when you get into the flow, it's very quick to tie as well, as long as you've got the stuff you need to hand. So I'll just remove that. Now I've got a little thorax on this. I know a lot of wets, they'll go straight up to the feather, and I like them simple wets, but on this occasion I'm going to put a thorax in. I'm using some Peacock Herl, and I've got a strand off here. Now normally I would catch Peacock Herl in by the tip, but on this occasion I want to catch it in just at the base. So I've just removed the rough end. I'm going to catch it in, and I'm going to make sure that's tied down nice and tight. Now notice that I've left quite a lot of room at the front, and that's really important. That's where a lot of people, especially new tiers, they go wrong by bringing their thread too close to the eye of the hook, and they end up in a world of hurt. Now before I bring my Peacock Herl through, just going to dab that with a little bit of glue, and this is to make the fly a little bit more robust. You know, there's nothing worse than you start to catch fish with a fly, and after 2 or 3 hungry little brown trout, your fly disintegrates on you. So that little touch of super glue just helps. So I'm building the thorax up just in behind the eye, leaving plenty of room for my hackle, which will be coming next. I remember we were in Slovenia, me and the guys, and Del Spry's he's a phenomenal all-round fly fisherman, but he's particularly good at fishing wet flies. And I said to him, "Oh, you've got to give me a cabbie on this wet fly fishing." And we were in the what was the name of the river? The Sava. which is a powerful river. You know, in the UK we think we've got big powerful rivers, but when you see the Sava, it's something else when it gets going. And it was flowing fairly fast, but we were stood in sort of just below our shin deep water. I've got a hen cape, I've already selected a feather, and I've stripped away the base of the feather. And we were catching plenty of fish, grayling we were getting, with the wet flies. And Del said to me, oh, you can't strike, you've just got to let the fish hook up, and once you feel the furum take, you can lift your rod. And but I couldn't get out of the habit of striking, and the first couple of times I was missing fish, and then eventually I got one, and then he was sort of standing by my side, and I struck again. You know, I'd forgot myself, and I jumped in the air in frustration, and the river took my feet away, and the next thing I was getting dragged to the side by Del before I floated off down the Sava. But great fun, great fun. Okay, so I've tied in my hackle by the stalk, and if you've got bigger feathers you can obviously tie it in by the tip, but because I've got nice small hen cape feathers, I'm able to do it this way, and I just think it sits better. So I'm going to take it both ways because I like to see what way it's going to sit. So this looks like it's going to sit better if I take it away from myself. I only want 2 turns a hackle. So there's my first one, and I'm gently bringing round my second turn. You don't want any more than that, it's just too much. But I better not get into that argument either. How many, you know, should it be bushy hackles, should it be tight hackles? I'll have Yorkshiremen on my case before I know it. But once you've got the hackle trapped in, slick everything back out the way, and then once you've secured that in, you can grab your waist end and it will just snap off. I'm a sort of middle of the road. I don't like them too bushy, but I also don't like the ones that have got 4 or 5 fibres and people say that's perfect. I'm not keen on them either. So to finish off, I'm going to get a little bit of UV resin and just coat my thread. If you don't have resin, super glue or varnish does the same job. Oops. And the quick finish tool is misbehaving on me again. I thought I'd got the hang of this by now. Then I can pull that tight and then come in with my serrated scissors, just catch the point of the thread, take it away, and then you can give it a zap. And yeah, I wished I could fish spiders more, but more often than not I'm on chalk streams, and you're not allowed to fish wet flies until after the 1st of July, so I don't really have a great deal of use for them down this neck of the woods. But when I get up on the bigger rivers, I always find it's good fun, especially if there's a hatch on and I'm getting no joy with the dry flies I'm throwing at it. It can be great to just swing some wets on a floating line. So there we go, a little spider for you. I hope you enjoyed that. A couple of interesting techniques. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please think about clicking that subscribe button. I would really appreciate your support.